Daughter of Abraham, Luke 13:16. This is video number 6 in the chronological order of our playlist here on Christians and Deliverance. So, this may be one of the most important passages in the entire discussion. Jesus encounters a woman who had been bent over for 18 years. For 18 years, she could not straighten herself up. For 18 years, she suffered under this condition. And when Jesus addresses her situation, he says something remarkable. So ought not this woman, being a daughter of Abraham, whom Satan has bound, think of it, for 18 years, be loosed from this bond on the Sabbath? So let's notice the order. Jesus identifies her covenant status first. Then he identifies her condition. First, a daughter of Abraham, then whom Satan has bound. So think about that. Jesus could have simply said, "This woman is sick," but he didn't. He could have simply said, "This woman has a physical problem." He didn't. Jesus specifically attributes her bondage to Satan, and he specifically identifies her as a daughter of Abraham. In other words, covenant relationship and satanic bondage are both present in the same verse. Now, I know the immediate objection. People say, yes, but this was before Pentecost. She didn't have the Holy Spirit living inside of her. And that's true. She lived before Pentecost. She lived under the old covenant. But now we have another question. Where does the New Testament explicitly say that the coming of the Holy Spirit made this type of bondage impossible? Not less common, not less likely, impossible. Because after Pentecost, believers are still warned, like we've been saying before, neither give place to the devil, lest Satan should take advantage of us. Your adversary, the devil, walks around like a roaring lion. Why all these warnings if the indwelling spirit automatically prevents every form of satanic bondage? The argument often made is the Holy Spirit wouldn't share space with a demon. But notice something. Jesus didn't say this woman belonged to Satan. He didn't say she was possessed by Satan. He didn't say she was owned. He said she was bound. And there's a difference there. Ownership and bondage are not the same thing. A prisoner and a slave are not the same thing. A person can belong to God and still be bound in an area that needs freedom. And what did Jesus do? Did he counsel her? No. Did he explain away her condition? No. Did he tell her to simply think differently? Did he tell her to understand her identity more? No. Jesus loosed her. The answer to bondage was freedom. The answer to binding was loosing. The answer to Satan's work was the authority of God. Now, does this passage alone prove every aspect of Christian deliverance theology? No, but it does establish something important. Jesus did not view covenant relationship and satanic bondage as mutually exclusive realities. The fact alone should make us slow down before making blanket statements that such a thing is impossible. Jesus identified her covenant status first, then he identified her bondage, and then he set her free. That's a pattern worth paying attention to.